All right, we're recording. All right, so this is gonna be episode 67 of the Just Chilling podcast. I'm your host Miguel. Today, we got so soon artist. You from New York, right?
Yes,
Uh,
indeed.
got Rashid, aka Metrical Maturity from right here in Alabama, and we got Hershey, dancer from where you at? I ain't gonna tell it.
I'm from New Orleans, but I live in El Paso.
You from New Orleans?
Yeah.
The first question then, how did you end up in El Paso from New
Why
Orleans?
is that always the first question people want to ask me?
That's my first question too.
And I'm so tired of hearing me like, oh, how you get out here? I'm like, man, life takes you places. You don't want to stay stagnant. You don't want to live in somewhere you from the whole time. But if you want the story short, I came out here for love. Love didn't make it, so I stayed
Right,
out here
right.
and I'm dancing.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So I got questions lined up for you. But you can go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, just your name and stuff like that, and what you're doing and stuff. So right now.
My name is Hershey. Right now, I'm chilling at the crib with my son. Ain't much going on. It's almost Christmas, just ready for the holidays. You know, thinking about getting more pets, but I can't do that till I get a bigger house. So
Right, right. What kind of pets you got right now?
I got 2 dogs and a cat. My son has some mice. R.I.P. to them.
I don't like cats. I don't
R.I.P.
like cats.
God.
I can't do
Gang,
cats.
gang.
That's because y'all don't understand cats. It's okay. Everybody not cat people.
Hey, I like cats. They just like me. I
I
rock.
love cats. Cats are amazing. They can read your energy. They come right when you need them, and they smarter than dogs.
I like them because they look. Sometimes they want to be loved on. Sometimes they don't want to be loved on. You know what I'm saying? They use the bathroom and put in the private. You know what I'm saying? They just like me. They just
They
like
just like women. Sometimes we want your attention. Sometimes y'all, no, we
they
don't.
real human like.
They very human like, you know what I'm
Hey,
saying?
The
hey,
two
Hershey,
ain't
you
too
can't,
human like they cats. They a cat.
I'm just saying
Hershey,
they
you
just
can't make that. You can't
My
make that
cat's
a
sexy. I don't know
gender-based
where it's at, and
statement.
I don't know where she at right now. But if I could show her y'all sexy ass, I would.
Oh, you don't know shit. She might hop up while you talking.
But see, that's what I'm saying. See what I'm saying? How she just went on about her business. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like cats. Like she'll come back when she want to mess with you. That's why I like them. You know what
I
I'm
shake
saying?
that damn food for her ass to come running.
Dogs got to be up under you all the time. I ain't.
I don't know how to
That's
chill.
true.
My kid
That's
still
true.
don't know how. He not learning fast enough for me. Like he be doing. I
I
be like,
have had a
"Daddy,
stupid
you
dog
big for
before.
this shit you trying to do, bro." Like he be wanting to get all up on me, especially in my face. I'm like, no. Sometimes I don't want to be that mean to him, but I be like, damn, I'm ready to just sock you. Sometimes I do sock that nigga. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey!
Sock him dead and shit. I be like, you too big for this shit, my nigga. You need to sit down.
All
I
right.
the other day he scratched me in my face. I almost had a heart attack.
So Hershey, you dance? How long you been dancing?
4 years now.
Great, great. That helps out my questioning. What was the beginning like, and how did you find the? Were you? I'm gonna stop first. Were you dancing in New Orleans before you came to El Paso?
No. I moved to El Paso. I was like 22, 23. I didn't start dancing until I was like 26.
Right.
So I started out here. I came out here in 2013.
Okay. Um, Number one question, because my cousin will kill me if I don't shout him out. Roy, he stayed down there in El Paso. He security guard at one of the clubs. I don't know if it's your club or not.
Roy is a security guard at all the clubs.
That's my cousin. That's my cousin.
Wow, he don't security for us no more, but Roy's been my boy since I've been knowing him. I didn't see him at a couple different places. I don't know where he at now, but
That's family right there, man. That's family.
seeing him around
If
since
I ain't shout him out, he linked me up. I'm be honest, he linked me up with you. He linked me up with Kiana.
yeah,
So
you
if
know
I
what
didn't,
Roy called me?
huh?
You know what Roy called me? Did he tell you what he called me?
No.
He calls me cocaine white because there was this one night I had on like an all white outfit and it just stuck. He to this day he calls me that. He called me for you and was like, "Hey, cocaine white, you want to do a podcast with my cousin?" I was like,
He called you cocaine white when he asked you.
"Yeah." He called me.
Man, I love him, man. I told him what my vision was because, like I said, 2021, I want more dancers. I want more girls in that type of industry. OnlyFans. I want to have them on here, have them telling their sides of the story, telling them their experiences and stuff like that. He
All
said,
the
say
time.
less. He said, say less, I got you. And you here today because of that. So basically just tell me what the beginning was like and how you found your first club,
My first what?
your first club to work at.
Oh, it's funny. I hated it, but I was working at this place called Foxy's. And if you know anything about Peso, Foxy is like one of the raunchiest places you could work at. But I wasn't dancing. I started off as a waitress. And basically I was what you call like a flash dancer. So I waitress, but there wasn't a lot of girls that worked in the daytime. So I would have to get on stage for like one song every so many minutes or whatever, and like flash dance. Basically, I didn't have to get naked like them. I just get up there and dance a little bit, show my boobs, and that's it. And I would get my tips and everything. And I don't know. Me and my ex kind of fell off and broke up, and it was kind of this thing where he was like throwing it in my face where I was gonna need him for some stuff. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna start dancing. So I started dancing because people were requesting me to dance, and I would make more money that way. You know what I mean? Like besides tips and what they were paying me per hour and everything like that. And I started dancing there, and it was cool. It was cool and everything, but the owner, I didn't really get along with him, and he had a lot of issues that I really prefer not to speak about. Just he wasn't very respectful to his workers, and so I only danced at Foxy's for like maybe a week, and then I went to Jags because I had been a customer at Jags, and I was like, man, if I'm a dance, I might as well do it right, and I might as well go to the club where I'm gonna be appreciated. And so that's what happened. I started dancing from waitressing, and then I jumped to a bigger club.
Right.
That's
So when you jumped to the bigger club, what was that like? Did you go through an interview process? Did you have who did you had to meet to get your first your first job, the first night there?
that was another funny situation because by then I had already started mixing and mingling with different people, and I had found out like who the manager was at Jag. So I started hitting him up on like Facebook, like, hey, me and one of my friends, we want to dance at your club. And I went up there. He was like, just bring your ID and your social and everything like that. So I went up there, and the guy who was there at the time, the manager at the time, I asked for him by his name specifically, and he lied to me. He told me that wasn't his name and that they weren't hiring and stuff like that. And I think it was like an ethnic situation. I'm not sure. I don't want to say, but I think it was an ethnic situation.
Mm.
And so he told me, yeah, we're not hiring and da 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 da. And I'm like, so I just talked to, the head man in charge. He said, y'all hiring. He told me to come up here, da da da. So me being the person I am, I'm not gonna just go home after I basically left Foxy's and went up there. Like I quit right there on the spot and went to Jaguars that night. And I called the boss that I had talked to, and I was like, well, your boy said, y'all not hiring, and that he doesn't know whose name I'm looking for. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to get in trouble, but he's saying that he doesn't know who that is. And so I literally went and sat in the parking lot and called my manager to this day, Alex. I love him to death. And was like, hey, I'm here, and like I don't know what's going on with management, but they're not trying to hire me, and they're not trying to tell me what's going on. So whatever happened as I was sitting in the parking lot, Alex had already contacted the manager and was like, and I'm gonna say his name because we're cool now. His name was Gio. Shout out Gio, I love him. We got real cool after that. He got my ID and my social. I started dancing that night, and it was kind of rough at first. I'm not gonna lie. Like at first, it was kind of like cool. My first night, I made money like right there, and then as the weeks went by, I kind of got a little discouraged because I felt like it's really hard being a woman already, and being a dancer is even harder being a woman because if you didn't have insecurities or you already had insecurities, it can definitely put more on you as far as the money's concerned, because like as the weeks went on for a little bit, I had to find my look, I had to find my customer base, I had to find like what fitted me the best, because I wanted to quit so many times because I was like, I know I'm pretty, I know I'm fine, and I ain't got time for this. I was like, they ain't appreciating my chocolateness, and I don't have time for this. And my boss was like, no, we're not gonna let you quit. Like he didn't give up on me, and I appreciate him to this day. But to any woman who thinks that we just be out here we hoes and we just taking off our clothes and stuff, it is hard. Okay. You don't know what kind of things we deal with up on that stage. We're literally naked for people to see us with all our flaws out, you know what I'm saying? And you got people like me who had a baby and our bodies ain't the same from when we were younger. So it's a lot different. But as the year went on, I think after like the first half year that I was working there, because I started at the end of the year. By that next year, when the new year had started and everything, I don't know what happened, but I started making money and I became like one of the most popular girls at Jags. Like everybody knows me, everybody comes to support me and show me love. You know what I'm saying? I met a lot of people that are my friends now, and not only that, but the networking is great. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Can I ask a
That's
question?
your story is why I want more people like you on there to tell you, like you said, it's not just me on the stage shaking my ass and having
Yeah.
fun. This is a job. It takes a certain acumen, a certain smarts. Like you say, you had the way you got your foot in the door with that club. The dude didn't even want to let you in. Gio, he didn't want to let you in at first. You had to figure out a way around that. I cut you off, man. What you had, man?
No, I was gonna ask a question. So once you got started and you got, I guess acclimated with it, and you start seeing other people around you, maybe it might have been, skin complexion. So maybe a lot of fair skin and girl, maybe getting more attention. Did you ever feel like you was like dealing with like image? Cause I don't know what you look like from, cause this is my first time meeting you. So did you ever feel like you was in competition with like maybe what people bodies look like, a lot of.
I think that I wouldn't call it competition because I wake up great. And I'm telling you that's my personality. I ain't in competition with nobody. I tell people all the time, but Beyonce could be standing next to me. I'm still better than that. You know what I'm saying? But that's me. That's my confidence. You know what I'm saying? That's me saying no matter where I'm at or who I'm around, I'm the baddest bitch in the room. And if you don't feel like that about yourself, that's got nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? But in society, yes, it's hard because I'm a chocolate girl, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes guys do like lighter complexion girls, but a lot of my friends are like,
Hey man, y'all shut the hell up.
competition. My best friends are, light skinned and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But society and when men and things like that, it's always different. As far as bodies are concerned, you have some bodies that look very beautiful, natural. You have some girls that have gotten surgery. So it's always going to be some type of competition because, yeah, how can I compete with surgery that I'm not willing to get? You know what I'm saying? Not because I can't afford it. I don't want it.
Yeah.
That's a good ass question, man. You had anything soon? Your mic off on so soon.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that no unnecessary background noise comes in.
Oh,
Like
okay.
if my partner come passing by, anything like that. But yeah, I do have a question actually for Hershey. My question is, what's the process of getting ready for a day or night of work? Like, what's the physical process, the mental process, all that stuff?
Honestly, I drag myself around all day complaining about how I don't want to get ready.
Procrastination.
Sound pretty normal to me.
And then I think about some stuff for an hour. I lay in bed. I smoke a couple blunts.
That sounds like everybody getting ready for work all around the world.
For myself, maybe I want to make it to this liquor store before I go to work so I can have my own bottle. Or if I tell myself somebody gonna have a bottle, it's what it is. And basically, I just get up at a certain time, and not even a certain time, because sometimes I'm late for work a lot, actually. I lay around, I complain, I get up, I do my makeup, I do my hair. Um, I gallivant for a little bit more. I'm a real bad procrastinator, so I procrastinate. And then I get ready to go, and I grab my bag, and then I'm very forgetful, so like right as I'm leaving out the door, I'm like, okay, I got my bag, I got my money to clock in, I got my bottle, I got my weed. Okay, all right, got everything I need. I got my keys. All right, and then I'm out the door. And then as far as going to work, it's just a matter of me getting dressed. Sometimes I get dressed right away. Sometimes I walk around the club and check it out, see if it's even worth me putting on my stripper clothes or whatever the case may be. If not, I'll be like, man, I just walk around in my regular clothes till I see something going on. I start
Ballers.
the customers like, nah, what y'all doing?
I
Can
think even I forget my mask every time I walk out. I have to come back in the house every day. We're like, damn, mask. every time.
Right.
Oh man, that's the biggest. I think I bought like 3 masks from the house mom,
I still ain't used to that.
and she
The
taxed
house mom. I'm
the
learning more
mask.
about that. It's one at every club.
Oh, so could you explain that for a person
It
like
definitely.
what is a house mom? You know, what do they mean for you on your daily, you know, on your day-to-day basis? What does a house mom do for you?
A house mom is someone who has all the things that we might forget
Mhm.
or things that we might need, didn't think that we needed before we got there. So she has like makeup and she sells outfits in her room. And of course she sells masks now. And if we need anything, like if we need our outfits fixed or some scissors or for her to, you know what I'm saying, if something's wrong, we go to her and ask her does she have something and we give her a tip at the end of the night.
Now let's say you're dealing with a lot of anxiety, and then you go to your house mom. Can you get some weed from her too?
You know, I've been thinking about explaining that to her, and not even the weed thing. Like, I don't want her to have weed. And our house mom, she's Hispanic. She barely speaks English, so
Damn.
sometimes I communicate with her. You know what I mean? But I want to tell her last weekend when I was running around asking everybody if they have a cigar, um, that she should get some cigars for sure. If not weed, at least some cigars for the girls that smoke. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people, not just the girls, customers come in there and be like, "Hey man, y'all got a cigar?" And I'm like, "Ain't nobody got a cigar."
Right.
I'm like, everybody decided they just no cigars,
Um,
and
my
nobody wanted to or either.
my next question just came off the top. Um, how much work have you seen done around the girls? Is there a lot of girls that you work with that have work, boobs, ass, lips, shit
I
like
know it got
that?
to be a good rate, a good. And you in Texas, I know it got to be a good. I'm talking about at least 70, 80. I'll be surprised if you say less.
I hope I don't know that many females. Okay, first of all. Secondly, I mean, it's, you know, to each his own. It's definitely girls with they bodies done, but you know, at first I didn't really understand it as far as the whole surgery thing is concerned. But I think it took for somebody to say something like, if you are unhappy with the way you look, there's nothing wrong with upgrading yourself. And so for any girl who is not naturally pretty or not naturally thick or not this, that, the third, for them who do feel like they might be in competition or whatever the case may be, I don't judge the fact that they got work done. If they want to go get their butt done or their boobs done or their lips done, and you know, I'll say this though, Black girls naturally have nice lips, most of us anyway. And so I do see a lot of that as far as me being out here in El Paso with the Hispanic girls because they admire us for our lips, just like we admire them for different things like their boobs or their shapes or you know what I'm saying. And yeah, I mean, you see the girls leave one day and then come back a couple months later or whatever, and completely different situation.
Hmm.
And then you figure out where they've been at for the past 2 months. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? She come back with bigger. She got her tits done. I tell a girl last time, I was like, sometimes though, I don't know. If you're gonna get surgery, all I'm gonna say is this: if you're gonna get surgery, take care of your surgery, because some people or some girls come back too soon, and it's not healthy. It is really not.
Oh, you
It
saying
mess
they
up your
get done with
body.
the surgery and then they start back dancing like ASAP?
Either they start right back dancing or they are out right away. And I'm like, you need to go sit down or you need
Do
to
you
like
do do you
rest.
do you think there's like a customer has paid for like some of their stuff?
Definitely.
And
All right,
technically
don't,
they
Customer
are
will
anyway,
buy
though.
for sure. I mean,
um
and some form, if he didn't pay for it all at one time, they paid for it gradually. You know
well
what I
see that
mean?
that leads me to another question I got. So like when you seeing a girl in the club one night and she making like the most money, or you see a girl in there and she's getting, all the tips or whatnot that night, what does that do? Do you see what guys like really want? What is the prototypical girl in a strip club to you? What do you think that looks like if you wanted to make one from scratch that can make all the money in the club?
Mhm.
Creative player. Sound like 2K.
Creative player. I've been playing 2K, man. I've been playing a lot of 2K, man.
Me too.
I think that I don't know. You know what? Because this.
Hey, hold on. Shout out to my Uncle Jimmy, man. Here in the comments, man. I love you, man. All right, you can go.
I think that if you really want to be honest, I have no idea what customers like, because it's so many nights that I'm standing there going like, out of all the girls in here, like, no offense.
Hey man, creepy.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They different. They don't give a don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to y'all like men. Some of y'all really care about that, because I can see
we
nowhere near me or the girls that are like what we call the top girls in there, like the top, and me and the other top girls would be looking around like, okay, so shawty over there ain't bad, but this nigga right here love her. I don't know what it is, but shit, she got something I don't got. And shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's confusing, like, out of all the girls in here, that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? And I like girls too, so of course I'm sitting there judging like, nah.
With a fine tooth comb.
Nah, like I got not her, but you never know. But I mean, typically, honestly, here at our club, I mean, the Black girls, we definitely winning in El Paso. You know, some nights is not ours. Some nights is for the Hispanic girls, and we just gotta understand that. Some nights we all get together and go, man, it's a Hispanic night. We just gotta accept that. Tonight wasn't for us. Come back tomorrow, try this again. You know what I'm saying? But everybody eats, and it's everybody get a turn. You don't know who gonna eat tonight. I mean, we all gonna eat, but you don't know who folks.
Right. So let me ask you this. This just popped in my head too. So what if a girl wanted to dance, but not only in one club? How easy would it be for a girl to leave her club, go to a club in Atlanta, dance there for a while, go to a club So Soon at in New York and dance for a while, and go to a club in California? Is that something that's possible?
It's more than possible. We do it all the time. Some places that don't require you to have a license. You have some places that do require you to have a license. You have some places that will make you interview and get naked, and they want to see your body before they hire you and things like that. I've been turned down before, and I've been turned down by a man, and I was.
Can I ask a question? What is being turned down? What do they say?
Turned down means like, okay, boom, I go to this club. There's one club I only been turned down from. I'm not gonna say the name of the club. Fuck them. But I went, and me and my friend went. We was gonna dance out there in Dallas or whatever. And so we went for the interview. We had to take our clothes off and stuff. Now me, I'm a mom. I have a mom body, and I'm okay with that. I'm not like fat or nothing like that, but you know, had a kid. So I got naked and everything, and he was like, well, yeah, you cute and everything, but like your body type's not the type you're looking for. And I was kind of taken aback because I was like looking around, and I was like, you know, and this was a big dude, like a big old dude. So I was like, well, get your big ass up there and see. Accept you for your body while you out here critiquing people looking like you looking. You know what I'm saying? I probably felt better.
I want to add this too. You've only had one kid.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is the problem? Like, you only had one kid.
I guess he wanted me to have boobs that sit up like this and a stomach that was like sucked in, and I was like,
also that's a market, because there's men out here that like natural. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like me, I'm more so of a natural. I'm younger than, you know, I'm only 23, but I prefer the more natural looking woman, the woman with flaws. Than I prefer the women that look flawless, you know, made. So if I was to spend my money, I know I would probably spend my money to the one that looked more natural. So I guess you gotta, you know, maybe they was looking for some type of, you know, image of that one.
Perfect as he could get. And I was like, you know what? Any other place that I've ever been, I've never had this problem. And like I said, I know, even with my little stretch marks and my little all that.
That's what I'm saying. It can't be. It can't be that bad. It can't be that bad. You've only had one kid.
I just find that so weird that somebody can just go, nah, this ain't it. You just
Hershey, my cousin, my Uncle Jimmy, he got a question. He said, how long can a dancer dance? What's the lifespan of a dancer? What you think is a lifespan?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
Ooh, that
So
is a
Brandy's
hard
done.
question because I've only been doing it for 4 years, and if this pandemic wouldn't have happened, this was going to be my last year, honestly, because I don't see myself doing this. I mean, if for the girls to make it out a career, that's cool or whatever. I know people who've been doing it 10 years plus, and I don't want to do it. I think that it's supposed to be a gateway into something bigger and something better. And I'm not saying that you can't do it for as long as you can do, you can dance, you can do however long you want to do it. But me personally, I started late anyway. I didn't start at 21. I didn't start at 19. I didn't start when I was 18 years old. I started when I was 26. So now I'm 31 and I'm like, whew, all right, I'm getting up there. I got a whole 9-year-old, and my whole point of doing
Me
this,
too. Me too. I got a 9-year-old.
you see what I'm saying? So my whole point in doing this was to get into the networking thing. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
met clubs, I met all the people who deal with music, and I met people who modeling and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? If I want to do a photo shoot right now, I could call up somebody and not have to come up out my pocket. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about. It's really about some girls, and I talk to me and my other girls talk about this all the time. You have two types of dancers. You have dancers that really go in there to hustle, that's really trying to do something with themselves. They got goals with this shit. They ain't coming here to play with y'all. They coming and play with y'all customers. We up in here for one reason only. We trying to do some. Then you got girls who like the lifestyle. Because I see a lot of girls that dance, and it seems like they just come to work to get fucked up and just strippers. That's how I feel.
Right. How
You know
many
what I'm saying?
how many new dancers come in per month or per year?
Mm, they be in and out, but since this whole COVID thing, we have so many new girls, and that's because a lot of clubs are not open.
And I got one last question for you because we got to go on to so soon because he
Go
got this
ahead.
project. I definitely want to shine a light on him, man, because he deserves it.
Hmm.
Um, but my last question was like, and my last guest, it was Raven. She couldn't answer it because she's a new dancer, but she was the first dancer I had on, and
Hmm.
I'm forever appreciative of her for coming on and giving me her time.
What's her name?
Raven, she dances in Indiana.
Oh, okay. And
But shows like P Valley, movies like Hustlers and Players Club, like they depict what they think the life is. How accurately is the life compared to what you see from day to day?
I think that P Valley kind of hit it on the nose.
See, I felt like that. I'm just playing. Like I did think that though, but I don't
I
know.
think P Valley was the one who got it right. I think because it's definitely versatile. You have you have your white girls from hood, you got your white girls from that hood, you got black girls, you got new girls that come in and them, the older girls, they don't care for that because I remember it was a lot of beef between me and some new dancers and some old dancers when I first started working. You know what I mean? It wasn't all love when we first came in. It's not like they don't embrace you like with open arms at the strip club. You know what I'm saying? Over time, you build friendships and stuff like that. And for anybody who over that amount of time who does not like you, then fuck them. But I think P Valley did better with that whole situation. Definitely, women can be very vicious.
Right. So P Valley hit it on the
We can
head.
be very vicious. We can
Right.
be very hateful. We can be very jealous. We can be very this, that, the third. But we can also be very, very, very loving, kind, nurturing creatures also. So
So you encourage the people watching right now, check out P Valley on Stars because that's going to give you the more accurate
the
depiction
more
of the life.
accurate. But Players Club is the reason why half of us became dancers. I'm pay homage to Players Club. Let me pay homage because that's really why I became a dancer. Not for real. Ronnie and Trix and Diamond, they really why I'm out here like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm more of a diamond.
Let me tell you something, Hershey, man. You killed it, man. I also want So Soon and Rasheed just to like just thank her, man, because if I can get 100 more
Appreciate
people like Hershey, man, this show would do a lot. It will go places with people like you. You killed it. I only wanted like 30 minutes of your time. You can kind of
And
kick
I
back
wasn't
now.
doing that.
You can shout out your Instagram, your Facebook, anything you want to shout out right now.
I'm really picky about my Instagram, so it really don't matter what my Instagram is because y'all be weird. I don't care how many people watching this. Guys be weird. Y'all need to stop coming in our DMs with the weirdness. If y'all wasn't so weird, my Instagram would be public, but it's not.
That's real.
Right.
And I mean, y'all can add me on Snapchat. You know, I'm Angel Face on Snapchat, so that's about it.
Right, man. Y'all think her, man. Because if I can get more people in her industry like her, man, it would really take the podcast. You took the podcast to the next level just now, man. I'm just gonna let you know that.
And I did it early. I wasn't supposed to be here to the 6th.
Right. Yeah. Send me 100 people like that.
You and Raven, and like I said with P Valley, because I feel like it's stories that ain't being told. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like
so many stories. If we had more time, the things that I have seen and witnessed, y'all would be laughing and probably crying at the same time. Like, damn.
So we'll get you. Hey, so Hershey, we'll get you back at another time then, right? We can get you back on here at some point.
Yeah, I'll be back and I'll tell y'all the funniest thing that's ever happened.
Thank you so much for that. If I can just get you on for a few episodes, that's fine. But we like I said, you can kick back and relax.
Yeah, because I got questions too for these people because like I write and I am a musician and I'm
go
like music engineering and stuff like that.
Nice.
So,
let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. So Soon is really dope and Matt really dope. Two dope artists. I think this is an epic episode right here because we got you here, we got them here. Any questions you got for them, just go ahead.
I would like to know, first of all, where are you guys located?
I'm in Birmingham,
Alabama.
I'm in New York.
And I love the way y'all talk. I ain't gonna lie.
Thank you.
I just sit back and listen to y'all talk all day. So with that being said, do y'all have like your own studios or do y'all use other people's studios?
I'm in mine. My room.
That's your studio. So you have like a studio in your room.
Got the whole shebang. Got my KRK. I'm talking to y'all through my KRK speakers and all that. Got it all. My Mac. That's one of my MacBook. Yeah, I built my whole thing. So
that's the best. That's the best way to do it because people are trying to scam you, man, out of your own talent and shit, man.
Yeah, but I also feel like you pay for expertise. Like the first thing I said when he mentioned you so soon. Did I say it right? So soon. That's it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So he mentioned he just briefly hit me like, hey, you want to do the podcast? You know, come on the show. I've been on here a couple times before, but so I went and I listened to your project, and the first thing that I even said was, I love the sound, like the actual. Because for me, a person that creates such dope music, in my opinion, and to a lot of people's opinion too, you know, for me, you know, is trying to get to that next level of quality, you know what I'm saying? Understanding, you know, how I can, you know, take these courses or these classes to get my stuff sounding more professional, you know, and it makes sense. When I'm hearing my songs, you know, comparing it to this person on the radio or this person over there, I want it to sound like that. And the first thing I from track 1, I only got, before we able to get on, like, I think I got to like track 8 of 5. I know I got at least 5 or 6. But the first thing I noticed was the difference in the quality, and I think that's sometimes is what we pay for when we go to those studios. It sounds good.
Yeah, I think some people will scam you, but I agree with you that it's when you have the right relationship with the right engineer, it is quality. To answer your question directly, Hershey, so the quarantine, I've been saying this since March, basically, as like you see a glare in my eyes is because I have the TV on mute because the NBA season just started. But like I'm gonna jump ahead a little bit because I'm sure you're gonna ask this, Miguel. But like the album that y'all are referring to was inspired by the quarantine. The very first time I put my I'd say pen to paper, but I write in my phone, was on March 11th, which was the day that the NBA canceled the season. And the quarantine has brought a lot of value, or has allowed me to bring a lot of value out of myself, because I have a mini home setup as well. I had the equipment, but I never was really fully utilizing it. And this inspired me utilizing it. So what I did was I put out a very rough mixed version of my own project that I wrote, recorded in rough mix, and I originally dropped it on Bandcamp, and then I sent the files to an engineer that I have a working relationship. We actually literally used to work together And so I knew he was gonna take it and clean it up and make it into what you heard as the final product. And so yeah, I did the recording and a very basic mix of it, but I knew that wasn't gonna cut it in terms of getting that quality that people would really
So you
want to
sent it to
listen
an
back to.
engineer.
Yes, definitely. So
Okay.
it was a huge savings because I paid $0 to record, and I was just paying per song for the mix, and so I saved like a shit ton of money.
One second, guys, I gotta get my
Okay.
No worries.
So soon. Sounds of something out of nothing. What does that mean to you, man?
So I gave myself my name. My original name was J Skills because my given first name is James, and I don't know, somewhere along the line, I like to think the word skills, and this was like going back to high school. So now I get to college and I'm starting to perform and starting to get exposed to more independent artists, and so many people got variations of the name Skills. And so I was like, this shit is too generic. I don't want people to be, checking for me and mistaking me with AI skills or this person, that person, whatever. In fact, my longest relationship with a producer that I met in college was his name also was so I was J Skills and he was Ill Skills, and I looked at that as like, yo, this was meant to be. But at the same time, I'm like, I gotta change my name. And so for me, So Soon is reflective of what hip hop culture is about. This idea of like folks didn't have anything, but they made something out of nothing, literally. So the sound of something out of nothing is essentially, what one of the elements of hip hop, because hip hop has so much to do with sound. That's what helped me come up with that acronym for the name So Soon.
Right. My next question ain't got shit to do with music, you or nothing. Listen, man, and I know Matt got me on this too. But do y'all think that Mary J. Blige is killing it on Power, man? Because I think she fucking killing it. Look, man.
How we end up here?
Look, man.
Did we discuss this?
Look, man, she is killing it, man.
She's doing good. Auntie Mary, she don't want to call her auntie, but she auntie.
I think she's a little.
I think she's doing really good. But she's married, you know what I'm saying? So she got a little. She doesn't.
I love it. I love seeing her.
With her.
I turn in every week for her. I
don't watch Power like that. I'm not even gonna lie. The last episode I watched was when I don't even know, but I know it's the latest ones because I didn't even know Ghost was dead. I had to go and catch up on some stuff.
Yeah, he had to go.
I had to go catch up, but when I did, I'm like, oh shit, Mary in here. They got with the great in this motherfucker. Like, damn.
Yeah, I'm gonna see her
good, but it is some crit. I'm one of the people I really watch this stuff, and it's just like you got to put we watch TV, and TV's supposed to be an imitation of life, and so. Do you have those conversations with your mom? And it seems like that her interactions with the kids be so not motherly.
No, man. I feel like it's I feel like she don't even really do acting like that, but she trying, and I feel like she just like this close to nailing it.
No, yeah, okay, now I agree with that. She is definitely that close to nailing it.
I mean, Mary's
literally this close to nailing it.
Yeah. She's very close. Yeah, I agree.
I'm with Hershey. I have not even watched the full episode of Power. I tell people all the time, it's so much like good content out. Mm-hmm. It's really hard to keep up with everything, and I'm like non-committal when it comes to that shit. Like I just watch like repeats of cartoons. It watches me more than anything between that and sports and just whatever else I'm doing, whether it's writing music or working on my business or whatever. But it's just such a commitment, and there's just so much good content. It's like I'd say the same for music. It's almost a curse sometimes. Like,
okay,
have y'all ever heard of Pose?
Huh?
Of who?
Have y'all ever heard of Pose?
My partner just finished watching that, so I caught a few episodes with her, and it was pretty solid. And I like Pose. I can relate to it because I worked with that population of people, but young people between like 14 and 24, LGBTQ young people, transgender, whatever. And so I could relate to it. So it helped me understand aspects of their lifestyle. And then because it's based in New York, I could, pick up on some nuance and be like, oh yeah, this feels like home. That feels accurate. that feels like bullshit. But I didn't
a
get
good
heavy
show.
into it. But my lady, she watched it. So every once in a while, I would sit next to her when she was watching it. So
Okay. All right. So we're gonna get back to So Soon. Me and Matt gotta chop this up right quick, man. So what do you think about Tyreek and the brother going on? What you think he can finna start? What you think he finna do since he got kicked out the family, man?
Oh, I see some people talking about they think he's gonna be killed off. I don't think so. I think he's supposed to be like the Canaan of the group, and so they're gonna keep him around to kind of. I think he's needed to kind of give that edge. Maybe they might join forces down the road. Who knows? And maybe they might play the mom, play the family. Who knows? But I didn't like Tyreek. I wasn't a big fan because it was just like, I grew up with with a real street dude, as like my father figure. So, and to have someone that do what Ghost did for him and the way that he acted towards Ghost, like he gave that man everything. And it was just like,
now listen, don't give too much away because I might watch it. So don't give too. I know Ghost was killed because I know too many people who watched it, so I already know that his fate was sealed before they did the spinoff. But don't give too much away.
Yeah,
Tyreek's a hoe ass nigga. That's all you.
Yeah, I did. That's what I was getting towards. I didn't like that. But he's getting to the point where they've written it well enough to where he's starting to, I guess, I don't want to say take our hearts back, but at least he's getting back in good grace with me a little bit. But
I fuck with Tyreek, man. I ain't gonna lie. I hated him. I hated him before Ghost died, but now I'm liking him because he's so much like his dad in so many ways.
He just don't have to look for me. He's trying to look for me.
He's soft, but I think he coming into his own.
I love hood niggas, and Tyreek just don't give me hood niggas. I just don't take. I don't.
It's because he's not. He's not though.
He's not.
Right.
I love him. I love y'all hood niggas. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the hood. But that nigga not a hood nigga.
All right, so we got the name out the way with So Soon. I don't think Hershey you was here when he said it, but it sounds of something out of nothing. So Soon, it sounds of something out of nothing. So I just want you to know what his name was and stuff like that.
Well, this is part of my networking situation. Like, it's so great to meet all of y'all, and I'm so like grateful for the opportunity and everything like that. And I mean, in the future, I would like to be in contact with both of y'all, all three of y'all, actually. And guys, I know you and me gonna be in contact regardless, because this is now we like.
In the future, we could connect after the podcast.
Okay, I'll link you now, but we already like this.
I'll link you up with everybody.
You ain't going nowhere. You like this.
Yeah,
but the two artists.
I'm telling you, Hershey. These are talented artists. I can't even begin to talk about So Soon. He got this.
I mean, you begin to dance to ransom. Oh, that stripper love you dance. I'm just playing.
Yeah, but I ain't lying. I forgot to tell you that. Tell her she, you got that song Stripper Love.
And we bring y'all
got ransom, you know what I'm saying? You dance a little bit.
He got music. But like I said, this So Soon part of the show, so
yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a question for him.
Let's get to So Soon. You want to bring up power So Soon?
I got a question. Can I ask him a question real quick while you look on your list or whatever? Can I ask him a question?
Because that's homework, man. That's homework.
I know what I'm saying, because this is fresh on my mind. Because
go ahead.
Because like I said, when he mentioned you, I went and I listened to the album. So, you kind of did to me from the first, like I said, I listened to like 5 to 8-ish songs. I could see a theme. And so, right, okay. Now it's entitled, I think it was entitled Quarantine or something like that. What was the name?
Quarantine.
So okay,
Quarantine.
Right.
Yeah.
So are we entering a perspective of just where you was thinking during this quarantine or where the world was at? Because at the beginning of the quarantine, that's when we went through, because a lot of your stuff that the content wise, it was, I don't want to put you in a box because I'm an artist and I don't like being put in a box because I go all the way around the spectrum. But I can see a hint of consciousness where we're talking about, I heard a lot of things about cops and white people and how they don't they're not rocking with black people. So was that your main goal with this quarantine? Were we looking to, I guess, make a racial stand, I guess? What was we thinking?
It's an amazing question. I love especially the beginning part of the question, which is, was it like my own perspective or more of a collective perspective? So to answer the question, I got to kind of give you the trajectory of this calendar year. So beginning of the year comes, I'm preparing to travel out of the country for a couple of different things, super exciting. Had just come back from Ghana, went to Colombia, and you know, whatever. And so I released when the quarantine first hit and I knew it was real, I released a 5-track EP, which was literally just a collection of music that I've been sitting on literally for years that is still relevant enough to put out and just get more content up on streaming and all that good stuff. Because to your point, like I myself pride myself on being a versatile artist, but a lot of my content and what a lot of people know me as is conscious, because that's just where a lane that I've been able to benefit the most from. And right. So this EP was to like give people a different perspective of who I am and what I bring artistically. Quarantine hits, and I didn't go into it thinking I was going to write a project, but it just started to naturally happen. Meanwhile, my cousin, who I hadn't been in touch with regularly for some time, is hitting me, like just buzzing in my fucking ear, wouldn't leave me alone. Like, yo, I'm making beats, bro. My shit is fire. Go to my SoundCloud, So I'm like, all right, nigga, all right. So I finally, I listen, and I'm like, all right. So I'm like coming up with concepts of songs, and he's got enough here to work with, like some fire shit. And then another producer that I went to college with years ago, just out of the blue, hits me with a batch of beats. I've been sitting on some other beats from my producer, and I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just create an EP. And my cousin, I give him, he's the MVP for 2020 for me, because he was the one that said to me, you need to get ahead of the curve and put out this project before a bunch of people start trying to get on this concept. So I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna do it. So I wrote, recorded it, started writing, like I said, March 11th. And then I had the first 7 songs out by May. So right around the time that I released it, it was an EP at that point, that was when all the protests started happening. And everything for the most, like I had like mentions throughout the album about cops and our relationship as Black people with police, but I didn't really, it was more from like a fly on the wall perspective, and also more from like this is exhausting. Like this shirt is inspired by one of the songs on the album Tired. And
I like that song.
So then my cousin again, he's like, so I put the project out 2 days after. He's like, yo, this shit is dope, bro. You gotta add more music. So I'm like, nigga, get out my face. I am so I've never done anything like this. I wrote, recorded, mixed, and dropped the shit in a matter of like 2 months. And now you're telling me to put out more. I'm fucking tired. So I like took a little bit of time, and then I thought about what he said. I was like, you know what? Yeah, because I'm actually angry, and I want to reflect that. So I added 4 more songs to the project, and then that's when you really, when you get a chance to listen to the end, you'll see the shifting gear after Tired, where you see this like builds up of like emotional energy, because it goes from like, we're tired of this happening to us, to like, I might fucking shoot a cop in the face. Not me personally, but like, it's feeling like it's gonna get to that point.
That's
you know
how
what I'm saying?
That's how I feel. No, I feel like at some point, enough is enough. I often feel like, no, I think we got to start shooting back at some point. But that's not, I ain't trying to start, with that. I just know that for me, that's how I feel when this stuff happens over and over and over. It feels
exactly.
like, I remember
I wanted that energy.
Yeah, I remember being a kid with Trayvon. This Trayvon situation happened. To this day, if I seen George Zimmerman, I will beat the living hell out of that man. Like to this day, because I remember that as a kid. Like I'm only 23, and so he was like 17 at the time, and so I remember being like 14, 13, and that pisses me off to this day. So I definitely get where you're going. Now I typically do mine a little different, as far as like my consciousness on that, because I think it's I don't want to ever box myself in. I feel like sometimes you box yourself in as an artist, and I'll be afraid of being boxed in. So I have to, if I do it, it got to be on a certain type of beat, or it can't be.
I get it.
One person that I did applaud was Lil Baby when he made his Conscious record, because I thought that was so left field for him, and he brought it to his world.
And he took a risk.
But he brought it to him.
That was a good track.
Yeah, so I was like, I thought that was dope the way he did it like that. But yeah, and see, I appreciate how you was able to like be blatant on your, be on your tracks. Like I said, I call exactly what you saying. You was like, nah, the cop's doing this, the cop's doing that. Like you said exactly, what the situation was. So like a person like me, I was like, I think that's dope to like see someone that just, be what I want to say, I guess, fierce or strong in the forefront of saying those type of things in music.
Thank you.
So that was dope.
Thank you.
You know
Thank
what?
you. I appreciate it.
Being from New Orleans, definitely, even before all this, I mean, history is just repeating itself. Let's just be honest.
Right.
Can't hang us, so they're gonna shoot us. You know what I'm saying? And
Word.
it sucks. It sucks because it's not even that. I don't even think it's that they despise us. I think it's that they fear us. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Look at how amazing our community is. We can do anything. I mean anything. I see Black people do the most amazing things. Sometimes I see Black people do stuff. I'm like, damn, I wish I could do that, but I know I cannot do that.
Yep.
But
For sure.
At the end of the day, I don't think it's a matter of. I don't think we should do the whole conflict thing. I think I'm more of a humanity person. I'm more with the whole spiritual situation. You know, I believe in God, but I also have my spiritual side. And I think that if we all came together as human beings and realized that we all believe the same at the end of the day, it wouldn't be as bad as it is. And unfortunately, this is what America was built on. So this is what we learned and this is what we know. And it's tough. It's tough. And it's even tougher when you have little Black children that you're raising.
Right.
We have to sit down and have these conversations with them and tell them how to have to interact with the police just so that you don't lose your child. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't imagine what I would do if anybody did something to my little man. You know what I'm saying?
Word up.
It's gonna be a bunch of smoke in the city behind that.
I know that's right.
The only one I got. You know what I'm saying? It's hard.
So soon, man, we killing this episode, man. I'm not gonna bullshit with you.
I think
it ain't too much we got to get to for real. But I do want you to break down Fuck Boy, because that's a good song. I like it. Mitt like it. I'm sorry to
I think
Hershey
that's the one I just listened to.
Because Hershey, because I should have put you on him, but I was just so lucky to have you tonight, period. To where I couldn't put you on him fast enough. But believe me, after the episode.
Yeah, no, definitely. We're gonna have to do another one.
After the episode, I'm gonna put you on so soon. Don't
I think
even
he already
worry
answered one of them. I was gonna ask him about the beats or whatever. I think
don't even worry about it.
Don't even worry about it. One thing for Rasheed, real quick. Do you do beats or do you just do the writing portion?
I've had fortunate relationships with producers over the years, and I can actually tie in your question, Hershey, to your question, Miguel. I've made beats before, but I know a lot of artists who are multi-talented. I know a lot of artists who try to dip their hands in many talents and just can't do it. And I'm one of those people who I just want to create the lyrics and the process of recording the lyrics to make them sound, how they're going to sound when they come out of my voice, from my voice. To answer your question, Miguel, about that song, a lot of times the concept starts with the beat and in this very conscious album, beyond it being conscious, really what I wanted to do is make sure that it became, I guess at the time, at some point during the writing process, I realized that when I, as the creator of this project and others go back and listen to this, that this will be a timepiece that will allow people to very quickly jog their memory about some of the things that were happening in 2020, right? And so, and I'm a very conceptual writer, so I should also say that. So what happened was, and I'm not gonna tell a whole long story, I was originally going to battle my cousin, who produced that beat, on the songs. I was gonna talk shit about him because we had like a rocky relationship for a few years, and then and so you can kind of hear some of that in the second verse. But then what happened was, like, I wrote the second verse first, and I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm talking shit about this dude whose partner I'm trying to kick it to over Zoom. What would make him upset? And so then that kind of inspired the first verse and the concept for the song or whatever. And so I just like, it's like very much from imagination, because I'm at home with my partner of 8 years we've been together, and there was no Zoom interactions that I had to like flirt with her or anything like that. I guess if you want to get kinky, but we didn't do that. So it was just like a really fun concept because I imagine that single people who are stuck in a quarantine, probably on Zoom, showing some skin, you know what I'm saying, doing some shit. You know what I mean? So that's what that was the mindset I was trying to jump into on that song, you know?
Right. But me and Rashid, we was like, we were blown back by the Missy Elliott sample on there, man. The Missy Elliott sample.
That was me. So that was the fun part about this project. It's like I'm a good producer. And what I mean by I'm not a beat maker, but like I know how to like bring a concept to life. But what has hindered me in the past is that when you have studio sessions where you're paying $35, $40, $50 an hour and you're trying to get as much done, you might think of something after you've listened, you like got the song, recorded, brought it home to listen to and make sure it sounds good. And then you have to make some like decisions. Like, am I going to spend another $35, just to ask the producer, or to ask the engineer, can you go in and add this Missy sample on it? And so what I was able to do, in this being the first time that I recorded my own project, was like, okay, I'm going to like not only make sure that the song ideas and concepts match what's happening in a quarantine, but there's also a lot of like pop culture references that would help like really flesh it out. So in the case of Fuckboy, this is also important contextually to tell you the story that I wrote that song around the time that Ludacris and Nelly had their versus battle. And Ludacris and Missy are two of my favorite artists. And so when he played 1 Minute Man, I was like, yeah, that's my joint. And then somehow it just kind of stuck in my mind to kind of play that Missy sample and mesh it with the chorus that I wrote. So
who was Fuckboy about?
And again, it's a fictitious story, but it's about, so I'm the fuckboy in the story because I'm trying to bag somebody else's bitch. Like I'm on Zoom trying to bag somebody's bitch, and at the end of the first verse, the boyfriend comes into the room and he sees his girl kicking it to me, and so in the second verse, I'm talking shit about him. So that's the story that happens, but it's not real.
It had already caught me though. Go ahead.
Have you heard Cash Doll's Everybody?
I haven't, but I'm gonna put that on my phone.
I fought with Cash Doll though. I fought with Cash Doll.
And now she has a song called Everybody where she played two parts. The first part she did both. The first part she was the side chick, and then the second part she was the wife. So she.
All I know is when I blow up, Cash Doll.
That's Bay right there.
I'm a biter.
I'll bite her too.
He said I'm a biter. He said I'm a biter.
Biter with you shit.
I just added it to my Spotify. I'm gonna listen to that.
Yes, you would like that. If that's the concept you was going for, she wrecked that track and she did a very good job on that.
Nice.
Right. So on the song, I mean, if you look right here, you can see I'm a big Tyler the Creator fan. On the song, So What Now, you kind of sounded like him a little bit on it. So I just want you to break down that song, So What Now.
So the concept is over a decade old, and like I said, after I created the first 7 songs and then came back with 4 new ones, my cousin, who I wound up later on naming the co-executive producer, because again, he was the battery in my back, pushing me to limits that I didn't think that I had, and then he also produced the majority of the project. He has his catalog of beats, and he's putting them on his SoundCloud, new ones, old ones, yada yada yada. And I had that concept. I had a concept and 2 verses for that song that were from like 2010 or something like that. And so he goes to me, look, the beat is dope, the concept is dope. You don't want to just add a verse on this and put it on the project? And I was like, at first I was like, nah, man, it's old. Like the concept, it's not relevant. And then I thought about it. So the chorus I didn't change, but I changed the verses. And then what he did behind my back, like a sneaky motherfucker that he is, he went and put one of his homies on the second verse, but it was in good faith. It wasn't like some disrespectful shit. He tried his goal, and he met his goal. His goal was to prove to me that the song was worthy of putting on the project now. So he goes, he gives the song to one of his homies. Shout out to my man K Banger, because now he's my homie. K Banger turns a verse in within 48 hours. My cousin King Virtue sends the song back to me now with the second verse, and I'm like, okay, I can use the song for later, but my verses are 10 years old, and this nigga K Banger just came on and bodied this shit. So there's no way I'm gonna put it out like this now. So I waited, like I just took time to myself for like 24 hours or something like that, 48 hours. And I said to myself, you know what, I'm gonna do it because it's easy. It's not gonna require a lot of mental energy to like update the concept and make it relevant to now. And I surprised him with it. So he didn't know until the night before I dropped the extended version of the album that I was even adding it to the album. So that's how that came about. And I mean, as far as the concept, it was the goal is just to wrap up the album. It's like, okay, we've gone through a pandemic. The president is a piece of shit. Everything that you can possibly think would happen has happened, and even all the shit that you wouldn't have that you would have not expected. So what now? What are we gonna do now? What am I gonna do now? So I'm celebrating. I had my face on a Times Square billboard. Late summer, I have this amazing project that I'm so fortunate to have put out and done so in a timely manner. There's a lot of highs and lows that have happened. So what now? So it was both like a celebration and a way to wrap up the album.
Right.
I have a question for So Soon.
Go ahead.
Talking everything. First of all, I just followed you on Spotify, so I'll check out your music.
You're gonna enjoy it.
Thank you.
Secondly, I know we talked a lot about the quarantine shit and everything. How do you feel about the coronavirus?
I didn't believe it was a real thing at first. I like I said earlier, I was preparing to travel out of the country. I have a friend in Australia who puts on an annual music festival, hip hop festival, and conference. And I was gonna go there to speak at the conference and perform at the festival. I've never been to Australia. I was super hyped. And when they first said, okay, US is shutting down for the quarantine, I was like, fuck that. My girlfriend was looking at me like, you're bugging. You need to stay your ass home and stop playing because you will fuck around and get stuck in Australia till like the end of the year. And so, like I said, first song 3/11/20 was written on March 11th. And that was that point because I was like sitting down where I'm sitting right now on my couch in the living room, watching New Orleans play whoever they were playing. And I wasn't watching it. They were about to start the game, and they were like, they canceled it. And then the next day, the NBA canceled the season, and that's when I knew it was real. And so, yeah, it was bothersome at first because I felt like it was getting in the way of some really great opportunities that were on the horizon. But I'm thankful that I was able to kind of pivot, which seems to be the word of the year, and make it beneficial. And I'll also say that, like, me personally, I'm at a stage in my life where like I don't really like to be around a lot of people. Like like people know me to be very outgoing, and I am, but I'm an only child.
But you're like introvert.
I'm an extroverted introvert. So like when I'm around my people,
I got you.
And I'm in certain settings, I can be the life of the party. I can be somewhere in between. But like when I'm home, I need to recharge. So like you're not gonna see me on a bunch of Zooms. My girlfriend has been on 3 Zooms this week. She's on vacation for 2 weeks. And she's been on 3 holiday celebration Zooms already.
I don't know what that's about because I don't be on Zoom. It's like it's mandatory.
Yeah. It's just I get it.
You gonna be on some more Zooms, Hershey, because I'm gonna need you for some more episodes.
Different. Like I just don't be on Zoom. Like, hey, y'all want to jump on Zoom real quick? Like that's crazy to me.
No, you better get friends with it because I'm gonna need you for a couple episodes.
But my thing I was asking because like the whole I personally. And this is me. There's some aspects of that virus that is, it's real. But me personally, I'm definitely one of them people who's like conspiracy theorists when it comes to the coronavirus.
So, no, it's real. Nah, I think they put it out here, but nah, it's real. It's definitely.
Nah, I mean, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I had it when it like smacked El Paso and they started shutting everything down. Literally, and before they quarantined us, I was already sick. And you know what I was doing? I'm gonna be real honest. I was partying, and bullshitting, and I was drinking. You know what? I was getting sick. I was sick. I was already sick. I was sick. You know what I was doing? I was like drinking. If I keep on doing drugs, it'll just go away. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I ended up in the hospital, but I got over it. And I was like, virus is only for me, and this is to me, is only detrimental to people who are of a certain age and with certain health issues. And I see people like me, I'm a very healthy, I'm not as healthy as I probably should be, but I'm a very healthy 31-year-old. I don't think that it is like a serious thing, because at the end of the day, we all have that virus in us. It just activated it. And that's just me. That's just me.
I had to be extra careful, and this is when it became real for me. I had to realize that it wasn't just about me, because my girlfriend, she has a lot of older people in her family, and we live in the building that she grew up in, and so her mom lives a few floors down. And her mom is like in her 70s, and she works 7 days a week at a family-owned bodega that like literally is across the street from where we live.
Bodega.
And but like her biggest fear is that because she has so many older folks in her family, she wouldn't want either of us to actively come in contact with somebody who has it, then give it to one of those older family members who have pre-existing conditions and die. And so I had to like really think selflessly, which was difficult at first, but then I was like, fuck it. I don't want to go out anyway. Like I'm good. If I'm not performing, like I'm good. Like I don't really need to go nowhere. I'm chilling.
It's not even the quarantine that bothers me about the virus, to be honest. It's
I agree.
The whole situation of it. Because definitely when I got sick, my roommate at the time had 2 small children. And I definitely kept myself away from them. I had to lock myself in my room. I actually had to go stay with somebody else and get rid of it before I even came back home. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying fuck the virus. It's not gonna hurt nobody. No, I mean, it's definitely like little kids with weak immune systems and stuff like that cannot come in contact with that. So,
Kiana says she love you.
I love her too. Sorry about Slim.
Yeah, she said, but Slim all right. So we gonna keep him in our prayers. Slim good though.
But she got a baby, and that's the another point I was making. She got little babies in the house, and I just really do hope that he's okay and he gets better and everything. And that
right. So soon, I had a question with you. You from New York. What are your thoughts on like Southern rap and Northern rap?
It's an amazing question, and if you don't mind, I want to pivot real quick, because so 2 weeks ago I took a trip to Virginia just to get away. I was a little stressed and I wanted to get away. So I basically was in Virginia at my cousin's place, the producer of this project, for a week. And we was watching Drink Champs, and Wallow and Gilly the King was on there. And Wallow was talking about, I was a Gilly the Kid fan before, when he was Gilly the Kid, not Gilly the King. And he was part of the group Major Figures. And Wallow was talking about when they started Major Figures, he was looking at the Southern artists, because so many of them were starting their own record labels. And that shit hit me, because there's since slavery has ended, and since mass migrations of people have moved from the South to the North, from South Carolina, Chicago, or wherever to New York, whatever. There's always been these like really ridiculous conversations about like, oh, Northern people are more intelligent and this, that, and the third. Fuck out of here. Let me be the first to say, as a New Yorker, all of my life, that is bullshit. And so I tie that into your question, Miguel, because when I think about Northern versus Southern rap, look, there's nothing more to say than the fact that when New York does not have its own identity right now. Now, hip hop is where New York started, but so many textures, so many layers that the South has brought to hip hop as a musical form have like impacted it in such a manner that the place where it started, our artists don't have our own identity anymore. We're like now steps behind, and a lot of us sound like dinosaurs, and the shit is annoying. And so I'm gonna say this: I don't listen to a lot of like newer artists. I don't care what region they're from. I don't listen to a lot of newer artists, but I don't take away from the ways that they've pivoted and made the music and the craft work for them. And so I have nothing but the utmost respect.
Let me cut you right quick, man. Let me cut you. But when I listen to your music, when I listen to Quarantine, the album, you are rapping clearly, and I can understand everything that's coming out your mouth, and I can vibe to it, and I appreciate that, man. I just want to let you know that before we get off of this, because that's valuable. I mean, I like understanding what the fuck I'm listening to, and you do that. You do that.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And look, like I said, look, I can't look. And here's the thing, right? So I'm definitely one of the two oldest on this Zoom. It's either you or me, Miguel. I'm not sure.
It's me. It's me. It's me.
Have you broke 40?
Nah.
It might not be you, bro. Don't. I just turned 38 late November.
So. Man, you look 25, man. Hey, hold on. Black don't crack unless you smoke it.
I know who the youngest is.
So you a Sag. Okay.
Black don't crack unless you smoke it, man.
Just turned 31 last month on the 14th.
I know who the youngest is.
Happy early.
That's good. I know who that is.
But I bring that up to say that, like, I try really hard to not get caught up in this old head mentality where it's like, I remember being a teenager and having to sneak to be a hip hop artist, but because my mom just wasn't with it. All this and it wasn't until I was able to show her the successes that I've obtained because of my music that she is like now in full support of what I do.
Man,
but
listen,
like,
hold on, man.
I agree. I can't listen to too much of these artists where you can't understand what they're saying, but I don't knock it. I respect it because it's a different generation and they're creating their own lane. So I can't knock that. There's enough space for everybody to eat, and that's the main thing. There's enough space.
You're never too old to do what you love.
All this technology, there's enough space for everybody to eat.
Fuck that, man. What kind of lotion you using, man? I want to look like that when I'm 38, man. What kind of lotion you use, man?
Real talk, I've been using Palmer's cocoa butter since I was in my teens. Every day. I'm not even fucking lying with you.
I'm glad you said that because I got
cocoa butter.
I'm glad you said
what kind of lotion you use, man?
Like,
say, look, you ain't one of them old heads when it comes to music that got a problem with, because I used to be like this before. I really just really was like, I'm limiting myself, because when I first started wanting to be a musician when I was a kid, I was like, shit, okay, I'm gonna rap, but on the side, I'm gonna sing. And I was like, they ain't even gonna know who the singing dude is. I'm just gonna have a whole different name. And they ain't gonna put Facebook because at the time I grew up, early, like it wasn't before the Treys and the Drakes and all that came out. It wasn't cool. It had got away from, you had your Bone Thugs and Harmony, but then it went to, everybody was gangster again. And so a rapper that was singing and stuff, that wasn't cool. So I was like, my plan was to separate it. And so thanks to people like Drake, Kanye, Kid Cudi, when they came around, it made it cool for me to be able to, I can play with it. Like when you listen to my projects, I'll go from rapping a little bit and I might sing a little bit, or if something, I'll make a pure R&B song. So you ain't one of them forces out there, because there's some people out there like, these singing ass rappers, these singing ass niggas, like they can't stand that. But for me, like I said, I was a person, I used to be like, oh my God, if you give me 5,000 bars, you great. But like now it's like you can get to the point where I feel like that's too much words.
You can't maximize on fans. Like even as an artist who has a lot of conscious content, I'm still a songwriter. And so I'm gonna make sure that I have a catchy chorus that brings you in to whatever like relevant content that I want to bring you into. And if you can sing or even harmonize a little bit, that's a bonus, because that's what people catch on to. That's what sticks to people.
I love melodies.
I got a question for Hershey though. Okay, so you dance. What are your favorite songs to dance to? Is it like that emotional rap, that deep rap? What gets you in your zone? It makes you hold on. And it gets you making your money real quick. What kind of music is that?
I love Memphis niggas like Black Youngster, Moneybag Yo, you know what I'm saying? I really like, as far as my music is concerned, I dance to a lot of versatile stuff. I think there's one song that I dance to.
What's the one you go crazy on? I'm finna go get some money.
1, 2, 3, let's go. That's my song right there. It's like, Pussy Ass Joe, he decide who the sentence. He said he ain't gonna switch out his bitch for a dime. He's down for a penny. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Black Youngster.
I'm a dime. He not gonna switch out for no penny. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy too. But I'm very versatile because I'm also from New Orleans. So you gotta remember that too. A lot of the stuff where they sample our music, or sometimes I'll just bring in some like real life, just New Orleans shit. Like I don't give a fuck who can't relate to it. Play that track, play that Sissy Nobi real quick, play that Denicia real quick, you know what I'm saying? But lately I've been dancing to like a lot of the baby and stuff like that, stuff that gets the crowd hype. I like hype music because at the club you don't want to really hear like a lot of slow stuff. Now I ain't gonna be dancing to like Tiana Taylor, my girl too. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Tiana Taylor. Her album was a beat.
Morning, that song with her and Kaylani.
Oh yeah.
Like I get real sexy on that, you know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the night, it's starting to slow down. I'm like, hey, play that sexy shit, you know what I'm saying? Play that Tiana, play Drake, you know what I'm saying? Play that stuff that they drunk now. Put them in their feelings real quick.
Do y'all give them y'all track list for y'all go on stage?
And every now and then we have new stuff that we bring. So I'm starting to like this one girl, I forget her name is, I think Flo Mizzy, something like that. But I like when I'm at home listening to different stuff, I'll save certain songs. Be like, okay, so I want him to like add.
So look, I want you to pick one song from So Soon on your list, and I want you to pick one song from Mexico Futurity on your list.
Definitely. You know what I'm saying?
Man, rap some no one, man. Play that, man.
I want to say, I want to give you your kudos, Hershey. I want to give you your kudos because what you just said made me think a lot. One of my former group members, he's the MC. He doesn't rap anymore, but he's an MC. He engineered all of our group sessions, but right now his main focus is on DJing, and he's been like building his fan base heavy. Shout out to my homie Gallo the Great, also one of my best friends outside of music. But he always talks about the role of a DJ and how their job is it's both to set the tone in the space, wherever that space is, but also to be able to read the audience and understand what they're and everything you're talking about in your work, in your line of work, has to be about reading the audience. So when you were talking about like now these niggas is in here drunk as fuck, what's going to get them losing their mind and throwing them dollars? You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be attentive. I have so much respect for you for being able to kind of like put that out there and recognize that.
You know what I wanted to say to both of y'all though? Like both of y'all was making a good point about the whole singing and rapping thing. And I was actually thinking it's funny because I have a track that started as a rap song. Started that way. And it's funny because my producer came over and like he produces my music for me. And he came over and I was like, man, fuck that. I should turn it because it's a stripper song. It's not like a stripper song it's about like how y'all was asking me questions earlier about how the girls interact and all that. It's basically about me and a friend of mine like having a falling out because we both were dancers and all that kind of stuff like that. Like, and hopefully y'all get to hear it one day when I get actually recorded. But it started as a rap song. And then once my producer came, I was like, you know what? I kind of want to like slow it down. Like I want them to really hear the story. I don't even want to rap it at this point. I kind of want it to be like a, you know, like a Janae Aiko, Summer Walker feel, but it's telling a hood story, but it's telling you where you can understand it. So I have, and that's one of my favorite songs that I've written this year. Because I'm like you, I write and I just keep.
Hey, listen. You probably can just record the vocals and send it to one of these guys and they could put the song together for you.
Now it's my next question, because I just need somebody because my producer, he ran off on me and started his happy little life with his new family. And I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. We used to date.
Shame on him.
We used to date and everything like that. You started your new family. I'm so happy for you. I'm proud of you doing your stuff and everything. But can you not forget what we started? I just need.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm strictly writing and performing music. I don't make any beats. However,
the crazy thing is I have the songs recorded on my phone already with the track. Like that's how crazy it is. He came over, I recorded the songs on my phone. I still have them on my phone. I just need them in like you said, so soon. I need somebody I can send them to. And
you got some fucking hustle because I have a lot of young mentees who are like a little younger, like I would say they're like around Mets age, who I've told. So I've been trying to give them this gem because this was my saving grace and recording my project this year. There's a free website that also has an app, Android, iPhone, whatever you use. It's called Band Lab, like a live band, and then like a science lab, Band Lab. And I use that to record, and it's easy to like put shit in there. It's easy software to use. It's easy to collaborate with people. So if you threw your stuff up in Band Lab, like I said, I'm not a trained engineer, but I have a lot of people around me that do these things that I could probably find some people to help you bring it to life.
And you said it's called Bands Lab?
Yeah. Like we'll connect offline and I'll give you that. But it's free. It is such a high quality software. I don't even understand why they make it available for free. Like it's to this day, I'm just like, yo, I can upload 1 million fucking songs, have 100 vocal tracks on my song. They not saying, oh, you gotta pay the premium to be able to have like 20 vocal tracks or to upload like SoundCloud. I can't fucking listen to a beat on SoundCloud without every 3 times I listen to it or every 3 beats I listen to getting a commercial. You know what I'm saying? Band Lab is doing so much more than SoundCloud, and they doing that shit for free. I'm waiting for them to be like, all right, effective in 2 months, we're gonna charge for this shit.
Quality recording, because if you record me on something that's not quality, I sound real nasally. You know what I mean? If you're sitting with me and you hear the recording and it sounds like that, and then you hear me actually singing, you go, that doesn't sound like you singing. And I'm like, I know, because it's the quality of the recording.
No, equipment matters. I ain't gonna lie to you. At least lower quality. The lower quality equipment. Once I upgraded from using a USB mic to a condenser mic and learning, I had to teach myself so much stuff because
me too, man.
I'm not the type of, and we talked about that when you started the podcast. I was like, this is stuff that worked for this and this one. But I had to teach myself so much because unlike a lot of artists, especially me, I'm growing up in a time where so many artists and so many young folks, and they just, I just want to make music. They're not even respecting art. So they just really just making music just because, it's the thing to do. And so like, for me, I have to be inspired. So I can't just go, just be like, okay, I want to book a session for Thursday. I'm gonna go in there and I'm not even gonna be ready because I need to experience life. I had to build me some in my home because I'd be able to, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I can get up and record now because I feel inspired now at this time. And so that's why I had to do that. What'd you say?
I'm inspired in the shower.
see, everybody has
a shower, but it inspires me, honey. I don't even go in there and sing other people's songs. I go in there and just start making up shit.
But here, I want to say one thing to that, Matt. I hear you, and at the same time, this is what I want to say, because everybody has access or lack thereof to different resources. What this year taught me was that, because I'm like I said, now y'all know my age, understand my age, understand where I'm from. And I'm from like the era where like I was a teen when Wu-Tang first put their album out, and I've heard the stories for days about how they did it from their proverbial garage with very shitty equipment. We in 2020, so listen, I did the whole album with a interface that it fits in the palm of my hands, a USB mic, and this Band Lab website, right? And I said, I did the best possible mix that I could do in my limited capacity before I passed it on to an engineer and he turned it into something amazing. And then I also took it up a level because I filmed and edited 4 music videos on my own, and I did it all from my phone. You know what I'm saying? And I have an iPhone 11, and I've been hearing stories since the iPhone 5 was out that people are making full-length documentaries and movies and music videos from their iPhones. And so I'm like, look, we're in a technology era. And what I tell my young people all the time is that if you get something, if you don't have the access or the means to get the best quality shit, don't get too caught up in perfectionism, because you could record something that's your best possible quality, and that's your business card in a sense. So if you go to an engineer or you go to a producer and you say, yo, I need beats, then you can have something to let them hear so they know you are about some shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I would say Band Lab, usually if you got a headphone with microphone on it, and that's the best you got right now, do that shit, and then you can use that to get people's attention. Like, I'm worth the time because, yeah, I don't got the technology, but I got the talent. And then you use that to convince people, you know, like, yo, okay, I'm going to take a shot at you because you about to shit, you know?
Yeah.
Too many of my young people, and I'm guilty of this too. I'd have so much more music out if I wasn't doing this, but like that perfectionist mentality, like you should definitely make it the best it can be, while at the same time finding the balance with not getting too caught up in perfectionism. And that's what I didn't want to do by making, like, this album wouldn't even be out right now if I got too caught up in being a perfectionist. I promise you that. So it's a balance, and it's different for every artist. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I had 2 questions, but I know my first question is, Hershey, is that a fucking pole behind you?
Oh, it's a pole. That was the first thing I saw the first time she got up before we started.
So you be like practicing like
on
some 2K shit before you go?
I love the pole.
You be throwing those shots.
And she gonna
like, it's like one of my. Honestly, it's really what drew me.
Hey, that ain't no bad thing. That ain't no bad. You got a pole in your house. That ain't no bad thing.
It's an art form. Everybody can't do that.
No.
I love the pole. It's definitely an art form. It's beautiful. I love it, and that's why I have one in my house.
Oh, I got a question.
That
okay, so
shit requires so much strength. Jesus Christ, that shit requires so much strength.
It is a matter of you trusting your body, trusting that your body's gonna do what it was made to do. If one of your body parts is lacking, the other one's gonna pick up. You know what I'm saying?
So you be doing tricks on the pole?
It's not even a strength thing. You know what I'm saying?
What you got, man? What you got?
I was like, so she do tricks on, well, I don't know what you call it. I guess like at the pole dancing, like you do tricks on the pole. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's hard for me to see my money just throwing my money just to watch it. but one way to get me, if I was at a strip club, I probably wouldn't give my money to the twerkers. But if you get on that pole,
that's what we make a lot of our money at.
He got a good point.
I like art, and not to me, that's art.
You know how many people come up to me like, get up, go up there, and I'm gonna throw all this money, and I go up there.
If you get on that pole, I don't know, I might go broke, but I ain't gonna tell my
a twerker. You'll go for me. That's this girl, man. There's this girl.
He got a good point.
I
want to know what your thoughts on versus pole dancing versus just twerking. Which I'm not taking away nothing from twerking because twerkers make money too.
Of course.
What are your thoughts on it?
I love both, but if I had to say which one would probably get you more attention, it would be the pole. It would definitely be the pole.
Get it from me.
Yeah. Definitely the pole. I mean, I'm gonna shout out Alex the Great. We call her Alex the Great. She works with me, and Alex is a monster on that pole. She is strong as hell.
Haley.
When all kind of craziness, and I know I told somebody one night, I said, look, if I try to do what she doing, I'm gonna have to start a GoFundMe, and that's just real life what it is. My arms gonna snap. She does Superman's like with her arms, like I mean, holding the pole, arms out, just vibe through the air. I'm like, nah, as strong as I look, no, I can't do that.
You know, wow, this is
wow.
This is amazing. Do it again.
I'm good. I'm solid. Don't get it twisted. I'm solid on the pole now.
Do it again. That's me.
Hey, man, we killing this shit.
That's funny. My son loves it. He be on the pole.
I'll watch it. I'll definitely watch it.
I told him he a fireman.
Right.
Oh my God.
Man, we killed this shit, man. I just wanted to ask one last question before we get out of here, because it's only an hour show. We killing this shit right now. We killing it, bro. This is what I like, though.
When
the conversation is natural and everything is not so much pressure, it's a good show. Yeah. So what was it like recording quarantine during the shutdown?
It was stressful for my girlfriend because she's never been in a studio experience, and so we have a small.
I told you that camera's gonna come out.
Look at that adorable cat! Oh my goodness!
Like, put me
on the budget now.
Don't come to my house.
It was stressful for both of us for different reasons. Like because for me, you know, the studio is a like I'm like Matt. Like I haven't been in many studio sessions where I've like written on the spot and then recorded. Usually I go in with the songs, knowing what I'm gonna do before I do it, whatever. But because there's there's so many levels of highs and lows emotionally on this project, emotional highs and lows, it was hard for me to be in the space knowing that my girlfriend is 2 rooms away, and I'm like sensing like I'm hearing like the refrigerator open, and I'm like, I can't, listen, can you keep it down in there? I'm trying to wrap up this session. And then, but what I also found out really quickly is that the room I was recording in had too much of an echo. So it made sense. Again, the building that I live in now, my girlfriend has been here pretty much her whole life, and her mom lives, it's a small building, it only has 8 units. And so her mom lives in one of the units, and like I said, she works 7 days a week. So I basically would wake up 10 whatever in the morning, get my laptop, my equipment, bring it downstairs, and just get the songs done while her mom was at work. And I was able to find a good pocket in that apartment where it wasn't echoey, and I was able to get a good sound or whatever. So it worked out because then I didn't have to like have my girlfriend worried about her making noise if she like takes a step, and it runs the risk of the mic picking it up, whatever. But like, I like, honestly, Miguel, the question about recording during the quarantine, that's nothing, because I've been in the studio as an artist for 20 years now. The bigger question is like, what was it like recording my own project? And it had its amazing moments. Like I said, on Fuckboy, like bringing in that Missy, and a lot of those like social, like what do you call it, sound bites that you hear throughout the album was a lot of fun. And then like those moments when you can't get a take was really like annoying and like Only Child, trying to get the flow down in the second verse. I just finished writing it like 3 days prior to recording it. I'm trying to get this flow down with all the breath control and all the nuance. Please stop telling me black people be peaceful and not fucking up. Like, that shit was annoying as hell, but I'm a better person for it. I'm a better artist for it. So it was enjoyable overall.
Yeah, I enjoyed the album, man.
Thank you.
Shit, man. Last thing I want y'all to do is pretty much shout out, y'all contacts, any way to reach y'all or whatever like that. We went over an hour, so I mean, show's over. You know what I'm saying? We get the fuck up out of here, man. Just let people know where they can find y'all, because we killed the episode, man.
Yeah. I'll go. You can find me on Instagram at So Soon. That's where I do the most interaction with human beings. I talk my shit. I talk the most shit on Twitter. So you can tweet me at Sir So Soon. Oh, excuse me, that's my old Twitter. So Soonish, like Blackish. And speaking of So Soonish, I also started a new apparel line, which this hat, this shirt, you can find it on my website, shopsosoonish.com. And yeah, that's how you can find me.
Okay.
I think it's hard. I think you should drop an album so soonish. I think that'll do something.
Yeah. I'm on it. Trust me, I'm on it.
I also do my most human interactions on Instagram. I never really understood Twitter, so I don't have that.
I hate Twitter.
I just started understanding it this year. So.
But I just changed my name on Instagram to Nisi Montana.
Nisi Montana. On Twitter?
On Instagram, no.
Instagram.
We don't tweet.
Okay. Man, come on, man. Man got a fucking album out, man. Man, come on, man.
Y'all know y'all can follow me on Instagram at big.dripper. So BIG period, or however y'all want to say dot.
Big.drip.
Dripper.
Wait. Say it one more time, Matt, because I'm about to follow you now.
BIG, like a period. DRIPPER. Big Dripper.
Got you. Yep.
Yours is just So Soon, right?
Yep. On Instagram, yeah.
And So Soon. Okay.
Tell everybody that watch the show, y'all can follow me, listen to the album They Will Never Believe too. We got so much stuff coming out, so hey.
Yeah. He said he's finna top of 2021.
Oh man, I'm finna blow up next year.
Matt, the link to your album is in your bio on IG? Copy,
yeah.
I got you. I'm gonna listen to it for sure.
Check that out. Appreciate that. I gotta finish listening to yours. Like I said, I was on, I think 5 or 8. I can't even remember which one it was. But I know I was past the because even before you had got to using the sample, I was like, this reminded me of something. That's like, this reminded me of Missy Elliott. I said, this sounds so much like Miss Hill. Then you threw the step, and I was like, I fucking knew it. I knew it. I knew it. I was like, you called me. Because you had the fact that you had me sitting there like that, like I think that was dope. It's like where have I heard this? Like, where is this going? I'm like, oh,
break me off. Show me what you got.
I'm gonna stop the Facebook live stream, but I do want to shout out Facebook. This where I get most of my interaction with human beings at on Facebook. So I definitely want to start shouting out Facebook. A lot of people say they don't do Facebook, they don't have Facebook and shit like that. But this is where I get most of my interaction at, man. So I definitely want to shout them out before we get off. And I'll be back as soon as I got another episode. You know, y'all want to say bye to Facebook.
And if y'all need anything from me, don't be afraid. Like Miguel, like we was linked through my cousin. Y'all need anything from me, don't hesitate to DM, reach out, whatever.
I'm not shy. I will bother you.
Don't worry about it. I will respond. But, I'm just saying, I just let everybody know that I ain't gonna be like that. So you know, the same way I met Miguel is through somebody else, and we been.
I bother y'all ass. The other night, I think I was saying something to this one dude.
She my brother, man. She my brother.
That's my guy.
He's like my wife right there. I was like, introduce me to your wife, then, so I can bother the both of y'all. What you mean?
Hey, we got 133 views off the rip, man.
Nice. Nice.
We got 133 views.
Applause for the young kings.
Oh yeah, applause for you. Applause for you.
Word up.
Everybody got a dope story, and it needs to be told. So I appreciate you.
Oh man, no, we gotta tell this real story. Y'all gonna be like, damn, Hershey, that really happened to you. I'm like, man, I couldn't believe it.
I can't wait. Y'all need to go ahead and do it. What you sipping on, Ciroc?
Man, no, I drink wine. I don't really drink hard liquor during the week.
You on the wine, he on the Ciroc. You know, I like my apple juice on the rocks. You know what I'm saying?
No hard liquor.
I was drinking some sparkling rosé.
Okay.
I'm an tea type guy. You know what I'm saying? You know.
That's my guy.